adventure. This time, destination Cat Harbor. It's Thursday, August something, 26th, 27th, who knows. Debbie, Katie, and Carmen, and myself. We're gonna. So there's a little bit of haze. The local visibility looks good. Commissioned the water maker last night, so we're gonna get out of the harbor here, out of LA Harbor. Once we get past Queens Gate, we'll start making water and filling up the tank. We're getting maybe about 7 knots of true wind. It's not a lot of wind yet. It'll probably come up a little bit more. Hopefully it's not right on our nose. And hopefully we'll get some sailing in today.
That's a Catalina. And LAX.
Alright, so we're plodding along. We're probably about 1.5 miles outside of Angel's Gate. Just turned on the water maker, so we're making water, we're motoring. We might consider doing some sailing here pretty quick. I'm looking at AIS is pretty clear, so I run a split screen here. This left side, here's my here's keeldragger. And every one of these circles is a range ring. I set up an open CPN. Each one set for a mile distance, so I can get a pretty good bead. There's a Towboat US boat right here. He's almost a mile away from us, heading the other direction. Not a concern. Towboat US Catalina. And then there's nothing really right around us to be concerned about on AIS. Then on the left side, really zoom out a little bit and try and keep an eye. So we're going to go to Cat Harbor on the back side of Catalina. So we're gonna take a course going southwest. Right now we've got a lot of west in the wind. So when we started out coming out of Angel's Gate, it was right on our nose, and now turn this down a little bit. So with NEMA 2000 over Wi-Fi, I can get everything on my MacBook with OpenCPN. I'm actually seeing pretty decent wind out here. Now it's bouncing up to as high as 17.9 knots apparent. It's bouncing around a little bit. So the apparent wind that this is showing includes our speed over ground, which is bouncing around between 4.5 to 5.3 knots. There's about a 4-foot swell here right now, so you can kind of see us accelerate, decelerate as we're hitting waves and things like that. But definitely the wind kind of on our nose, the swell slows this boat down a fair amount. So the only thing I see, the southbound shipping lane, and this is what, got to be 10-12 miles out. Further than that, actually, the CMA, CGM, IKEA, they're out 17.7 nautical miles. But if I look at CPA, they're going to come within about 1 mile of us in an hour and a half. So we've got a bunch of time before they get here, but they're going to be close enough that we will keep an eye on them, particularly as we get closer to the shipping lanes. And if they hold course and we hold course and speed, we will make a deliberate plan to go behind them. And if it looks like we're going to get close or we see anything interesting, we'll call them on radio. But they're out far enough right now that we are just going to keep an eye on them. But I'm actually liking the wind. 30 degrees is on the low side, we could go a little bit to port and probably sail pretty well with this wind. If it's blowing 17 knots, we might just kill the engine. The only concern there is pulling on the batteries while we're making water. What do you think so far, Carmen?
I want your GoPro.
This is what are these, about 4-foot swells?
There's been some 6-foot.
Some 6-footers?
Easily roll through.
Pretty much on the nose.
I like them.
I think what we can do is...
You're making me sleepy. Here comes the good one. That one.
Yeah. So you know what I think we can do?
Here it comes.
Yeah, this one's a little bigger than the others. Yeah, this is a good one right here. Wow. So, I mean, with the wind that we've got right now, we should just let's put up the main and we'll bear off a little bit if we need to.
Okay.
And I think we can do some pretty killer sailing. All right, Katie's hoisting the main. I gotta say, I admire her desire to do this old school without the button. You got quite a ways to go. You want to pop the main sheet? That's probably coming. That's pretty good. Well, just keep it coming. No, I'm gonna put her more on the wind here. Yeah, it's about 1:15 and we're full on sailing, full canvas, and we're strapped in pretty tight. Sailing at about 45 degrees or so on the wind, heading in a southwesterly direction towards Catalina. We're actually pretty close to on course, so we don't have to shift too much. So I'm liking the course okay. But we've got these swells that are coming in about every 7 seconds. And they're slowing us down a lot. So this thing's bogging down a little bit with the swells. But it's pretty comfortable. So I don't think this boat likes to head into pitchy waves and swells head on so much. That's pretty comfortable. What's that?
We're doing all the work hiking.
Yeah, Katie and Carmen are hiking out. But we're bouncing somewhere between 5 and 6 knots, depending on which side of a wave we're on. And I'm seeing about 15 to 16 knots apparent. If it changes much, I think we're probably good for another, up until about 20 or close to it, before we might want to think about reefing the main a little bit to make it a little bit more comfortable. We're not heeling excessively. We're probably between 10 and 15 degrees heel. And it's beautiful out. Big pod of dolphins over to port. See them on the crest of the waves over there? Just about ready to enter the northbound shipping lane. We do have a ship. This shows up right here that's going to come within about 1.5 miles. He's fine. Then this guy up to the upper right of the screen, was it CGN or whatever? It's the, hang on, CMA CGN Aquila. He's going to come with less than 1 mile of CPA. He's the one we want to keep a closer eye on. We're averaging around 5.5-ish knots under sail, moving along pretty well. We'll continue this heading as long as we can. But the swells, the waves are, we're bashing. We're not, the deck's dry, we're not getting splashed, but we're bashing right now. And because of the period, because these swells are kind of close together, it's kind of makes for an interesting ride here. But it slows us down a lot, so the speedo's kind of all over the place. But I think it's still rather comfortable. All right, threading the needle through the shipping lanes. There's a ship behind us. It'll be within about 1 mile. And then got one over to starboard here. You think it's a card carrier or just a container? Pretty big ship.
Hard to tell.
A few miles out. So he's the one we got to watch. I think we're pretty much through the northbound lane at this point. CGM Akia keeldragger. No answer.
You want to just head up?
CGM Aquila keeldragger. Hi, good afternoon, Captain. Sailboat just a little bit under 4 miles off your port bow. Looks like we've got a CPA of less than 1 mile. Just wanted to confirm if we're okay to maintain course, or if you'd like us to correct and pass the stern.
You can pass the stern, is much safer for you, but you can maintain your speed relative to port as usual.
So we're going to
Continue on.
okay.
You can see us.
Roger, Captain. We will maintain speed and course. Keeldragger over.
Copy that relative to port. Pass the distance, no problem.
Thank you, Captain. Keeldragger standing by on 16. All right, we're clear of the CMA, CGN, Aquila. Big ship. So Debbie did an experiment. She was going sans drugs to see how she'd do with motion sickness. Bought one of those newfangled relief bands. I was super skeptical. Sunday we went out, motored around a little bit, the swells, and she survived, so she decided to try this without the scopolamine patch. Normally within about 5 minutes in these kinds of swells, if that long, she'd be spewing. She made about an hour and a half or so, and then she just put another dose of the gel to conduct her relief band, and she's back in action. What's the verdict? Good? You look good.
Catalina Harbor.
So here's the CMA CGM Aquila. You see the two ships, we just cut in between them through the shipping lanes. It's kind of a good view of what we just passed through and what we were kind of managing, along with some pretty decent swells. Got better sound too. Our little fast, it was pretty well centered. We're going to drop it down a little bit. Should give us a little less heel. Winds come up a little stronger. We're seeing 18 or so, and 18 and some change, so that this will just help us stay on our feet a little bit better with a little less heel. And then if we need to make any more adjustments, if the wind comes up more as we round Catalina, we'll put a reef down probably to the second reef. I don't think the first reef is going to do much. Dropping the Traveler. Got it some more speed. We're cruising closer to 7 knots now. Bouncing, I'm seeing us bounce over 7 and a little bit below with the waves. So we're flying. We're 4.3 miles from northwest end. Decided to fire up the engine just so we can run a little tighter angles. We're seeing about 19 knots of wind right now, and bashing. So we would have, we can either try and head extended to win, but we slow down quite a bit, fall off. We're not going to make it around the island without having to tack again. So we went ahead and fired up the engine, top off the batteries, and see if we can get around the island a little bit quicker. The waves have picked up a little bit, so definitely a little bit of a sharper edge to them, so we're getting a little bit more spray. All right, another change up. There's the northwest end of the island.
Elusive.
And we are heading southeast. We're gonna go somewhere around the isthmus, one of those coves. We decided we've only, we would have had another 45 minutes to bash, even with the engine on, to get past there. And it's a little uncomfortable. Now it's like super comfortable. So we thought we'd make things a little easier on everybody. A little difficult to even make lunch. And it's 3 o'clock. Look at that. Hang on. Autopilot's getting a workout. Yeah, that's like at 120 degrees right now, wind-wise. Got the sails put up. Katie and Debbie are wrapping the main, and we are going somewhere around the isthmus. There's Emerald Bay, and I'm leaning against Emerald Bay for today just because I think with the swell at Emerald Bay, these waves, I don't think it's going to be very comfortable at all in there, so we might try Cherry Cove or something. Oh, look at this. It's a stampede. Cherry Cove. let it down. Give it some slack, and then pull it back up. Let it down. Oh. It.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks, Katie.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, we're good.
Great.
Thank you.
Happy to be out of that wind on the north end.
I saw the white caps. It sounds nice out there.
Woo! Yeah, it's like 20 steady.
Oh my god!
It's about.
Did you guys sail it just over?
We were sailing, trying to beat around, and we were like, let's go chill.
Yeah. Tuck you in for it.
Yeah.
That looks like
shit.
so we got like some smoked salmon and a couple types of cheese, cucumbers, crackers. Missing some Grey Poupon. Alright, there's the water maker brine discharge. Alright, go for a little hike today. We're just out of Cherry Cove. And then this is 4th of July Cove over to the starboard. Bird Rock. A little bumpy out here. There's Cherry Cove, the furthest over to the right. Keeldragger's back there somewhere. Need binoculars at this point.
Hell of a climb, but once you're on this, it's all downhill. Coming back.
Coming back?
Yeah. Okay. So.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Pretty cool. If you look way out there, you can see the mountains in the background.
So the top part is like...
It's pretty cool. Look up by the antenna, the clouds kind of coming over the top of the island.